As it stands, with the release of Black Clover's chapters 387 through 389, we now have the ending of the series' final battle, with a main villain, Lucius having been defeated once and for all. There's been a lot of discussion and memeing over the internet about Black Clover's ending, but to be honest, a lot of it is low effort and really misses the point. The ending of the final battle is not nearly as bad as a lot of people are saying. However, it is still not a good one in my eyes. It's actually much worse than bad. Black Clover's climax is disappointing. However, keep in mind that Black Clover technically has not ended yet. The end of the final battle is really just the climax of the series. It's not its true end. There are more chapters to come, and there has already been some promotional material mentioning the next issue of Giga in spring, and that promo material does not mention that it's the final issue. The vast majority of the time, the preceding issue or promo material that is advertising the next one will mention that the next issue is the last one if it truly is. That means that we likely have 2 more issues of Jump Giga. At least, that should be the bare minimum. With having 3 straight issues of Jump Giga releasing 3 chapters each, we can expect a likelihood of 6 chapters left in the series, which would make it end in the summer of 2026. Maybe around when the anime starts. Though some issues of Giga will release only 2 chapters, which means that it really is a bare minimum of 4 chapters of Black Clover left. But again, it's probably 6 and it could be more. I can be wrong, and there's that small chance that there could be way more than 2 issues left. I'm really hoping for that, but going beyond hope is just kind of cope. Now, please don't get me wrong, there are some really good moments in the latest batch of Black Clover's chapters. The art looks great, and there are some great interactions with good combat. But the good does not outweigh the bad when you leave that vacuum. The chapters aren't bad if you just read them and forget about everything happened before it. They're bad when you remember Black Clover as a whole. To give a quick summary of how the fight ends in these 3 chapters, Asta and are fighting Lucius, and right at the end of the fight, Noelle sneak attacks Lucius, which distracts him, and then allows for Asta and to land a devastating blow on the gap in Lucius's chest. This allowed for Julius to break free from his trance and stagger Lucius himself, letting Asta and land the true final blow on the Wizard Emperor. After one final parting conversation between the Soul Brothers, Lucius crumbles away, and Julius returns to the physical world. He sacrifices himself to reverse all of the damage and death that Lucius and his army of paladins and angels have caused. Of course, in some ways, I can see the beauty in how this ending rhymes with the ending of the Elf Saga, as the first Wizard King Lumiere would stand there crumbling after helping save his own kingdom. But it isn't necessarily the ending of the climax that goes wrong. It is 100% the execution of it. And it gets even worse when you remember that the quality of the ending of the Spade Saga hinged a lot on whether or not Lucius and his backstory would be expanded upon in the final saga. Which, barring a miraculous comeback, it never happened. If you don't remember, the ending of the Spade Saga had a very mixed reception by the fandom all the way up to its penultimate chapter. While it started incredibly well, the last 20 or 30 or so chapters of the 103 chapter saga had its fair share of lows. A lot of people disliked how many fake-out deaths there were. Megicula and the Dark Triad were disappointing. Lucifero was kind of a bum. Morris was a flop. And to many, it felt like a step backward compared to what they experienced in the Elf Saga. But chapter 331 changed a lot of people's opinions with the reveal of Lucius Sagratis. It answered a lot of fan questions, but it spawned many more. And a lot of how well the Spade Saga ended hinged upon what the answers to those questions were. The issue is that Tabata didn't really answer those questions. And it sets up Lucius for the villain of the final saga, the final villain of the series, to be very strong, smart, and versatile. But in my opinion, Lucius ended up as really only one of those 3 traits. I really don't think you can consider him smart with the way that he lost. With countless magical attributes, he somehow loses by getting off-guarded by Noelle. It's really just like that. I get that people warn others against comparing the ending of a show to what they expected, but I only half agree. We shouldn't expect an ending to be the best thing ever. Endings are hard. Endings are subjective. Endings are never going to answer every question or cater to fan fictions. But endings should have substance, and the climax of Black Clover's final battle did not have that. It lacked vision. It was repetitive. How many times did Asta get knocked out of the fight just to come back stronger than ever? We put up with it at the time because we thought there was going to be a lot of great reveals and an actual good final battle, but there wasn't. Lucius has all these magical attributes, but what does he actually do with them? Not much. He's supposed to have the durability and regenerative properties of his siblings, but to an even higher degree, as he can channel the king of the devil's power through it, and he eventually combines all of his siblings' elements into one. To put it simply, Lucius should have been basically unkillable, even to anti-magic, but a slash to this thing in his chest, that shouldn't have been enough for Julius to distract him, and this shouldn't have been enough to kill him off. I feel like if you have just ported Lucius and his abilities into a video game, and handed the average Black Clover manga reader who doesn't have the ability to see 20,000 different timelines, they would come up with a much more interesting and logical way for Lucius to fight than what was written in the final saga. He should have used Magicula's purified curse magic, which it's implied he has it, maybe he doesn't, but there's so many other powers that he has. One of the things I was hoping for Tabata to do would be for Lucius to actually use his natural talents, his talent of being the world's greatest devil host. I feel like if anyone were to come up with ways to counter anti-magic, it would be him. If Sally can find ways to use and expand upon anti-magic for others, I don't see how Lucius could have done something to at least counter that, to mitigate the effects of anti-magic. I mean, remember, Lucius is the one who beat Ostroth in a devil binding ritual before he had Lucifero's power. Imagine what he could have done if he activated a devil binding ritual around Asta and Libe. Or another thing, he had the Tree of Clifoff. It connects universes together, and it looked like he was starting to do something with it, like we're trying to stop him, but why didn't he do something with the Tree of Clifoff to also stop his defeat? But hell, it's not even my main complaint that Lucius ended up being a much lesser fighter than I expected him to be. It's that we had almost no real reveals about his character. We know very little about him, and we hadn't learned much more since the Judgment Day arc began. We didn't get the rise of Lucius, we didn't get Lucius and his siblings, we didn't get Lucius and Ostroth. We still haven't even seen Ostroth a single time. Tabata, what are we doing here? Anyways, sorry to be all over the place, but this is, quite frankly, rough. I have so much to say about this climax, what went wrong, what went right, and the things that I personally would change, but that really needs to be its own long video. And I just want to get this video out because the chapters just came out, just to vent my thoughts now. And I don't know if the ending of the final battle was necessarily bad because of Tabata. Like, obviously he had to have a play in it, but we have to remember that Tabata got another editor right before the issue that preceded this one. So the last 2 issues of Jump Giga was a brand new editor. And I feel like you can really feel that. Like, if you just read the Black Clover series from when it first entered Jump Giga in 369, and then read the last 2 issues, it feels very different. I think the editor is actually maybe more to blame because the editor does have a lot of power over Tabata. He has a lot of say. Like, Tabata can't do whatever he wants. And it really does feel like the editor, like maybe Tabata got a new editor because Shonen Jump's like, oh, here's a new editor, we're finishing this now. We're finishing this much quicker than we had told you, or something like that. That's what it feels like. This doesn't feel like what Black Clover was trending towards until we got that new editor in the preceding issue. So maybe it's not even Tabata's fault. Like, honestly, like, we have to remember, guys, every mangaka is a good writer, but writing weekly Shonen Jump, writing a weekly series, that's insane. It's super hard to write, especially when you don't have even like close to full control over what you're writing. I hope Tabata maybe writes like a novel or something like that about Black Clover. I don't know. I'll be supporting Tabata in the future, but yeah. Anyways, I'm done complaining for now. I will be making a couple of very critical videos of Black Clover in the near future, and I will definitely be doing a post-mortem analysis on Lucius as a character, why he's Tabata's biggest flop. Yes, even a bigger flop than Morris or Lucifero. And really, it's not even close. I will possibly be doing a video just on the Judgment Day arc as well, because even though I think there is a lot of crossover criticism between Lucius the character and Lucius the plot device driving the story of the final saga, but there are still enough differences to keep the criticism separated. I wanted to make a video going over the good and the bad for this one and go in depth, but you know, I just can't. This is not the worst ending I've experienced, but I think it's the most disappointing one, and that's almost worse. You probably know me as the Black Clover lover or defender, but I just cannot defend this one, guys. I have videos in the works that should be coming out. Sorry for the delay. The last, like, I think almost a year now, I've not posted that much, especially the past 6 months. But my laptop was dying. You guys don't know what I was dealing with, like, with my laptop. Like, not only am I really busy in real life, but my laptop, bro, like, it was really bad. But I got a desktop now, and it's good for video editing, so I should be uploading way more often, like guaranteed a video every single month, guys. Like, I can promise that. Unless if something crazy happens, it'll be at least a video a month. I really want to shoot for 2 videos a month, though, but I'll be posting more often. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys, and I think 2026 is going to be a good year, especially if Tabata can at least stick the landing in his messy descent, but as much as I hate the ending of Lucius, I'm hoping, or maybe just hoping, that Tabata ended one character's reign to put all of his effort into the final issues, where we may hopefully see Austin, finally fight. But goddamn, can you imagine if Tabata does not have Austin, fight a single time on screen? I think he'll do it. But anyways, guys, I said I'd stop being negative. I'll keep it real. Black Clover, it's still amazing. It's one of my all-time favorites. I'm still excited to edit videos on it, and just some of the videos that are coming. I have a Julius Power Scale video coming, an analysis comparing Austin, Deku, and many more videos that I've been slowly cooking the past year. A year that, though great, has been the busiest year of my life. And honestly, 2026 is shaping up to be busiest as well. But anyways, guys, love y'all, and peace out.